Hello everyone, welcome back to the Film Insight channel. In today's video, we're gonna cover some of the most hated contestants on Ink Master. So, sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's get straight into the content, guys. We're starting things off with Ashley Velazquez.
My gender doesn't affect me at all. I'm better than most guys. What people like to do on Ink Masters, they like to pick on the young ones, but somebody young has to win this competition.
Ashley Show-Off Velazquez appeared in the 7th season of Ink Master. You might be wondering where she got the show-off part of her name. Well, let's see what she has to say about it.
So that's how I got that, from just being a know-it-all, who thought they knew everything and didn't want to be taught anything, and I thought I knew what I was doing from the beginning, so I was just a big show-off.
Velazquez is from New Haven, Connecticut, and is known for her love of being in the spotlight. She isn't afraid to say things as they are, and this has sometimes gotten her into trouble. Take a look at what Clean Rock 1 had to say about her in an episode of Grudge Match.
Ashley, she is not gonna let anybody talk any kind of shit to her.
If you're wondering how she got into tattooing, give this a look.
I went to college, I was a fine arts major. I thought that what I wanted to do was be an interior designer, but being that I knew how to draw, my cousin started dating a tattoo artist. So by me being related to her, I started hanging around at this guy's shop. And I was still in college at the time. He saw my artwork and said, well, you know, if you ever want to come hang out at the shop, you're more than welcome. So I would do my classes, go hang out at the shop. And then I started drawing the tattoos out for the artists. Because back then, they used to just print shit out, make a stencil, and no one actually knew how to draw. So I would hang out at the shop, do little bangers, and they would tattoo my drawings. So after like a week or so, I realized they're making money off of what I'm drawing. It's kind of not right. I started paying attention, watching, and a girl that I was in school with went there for a tattoo, and she assumed because I was there, I was an artist myself. And I told her, no, I'm just here hanging out, I'm drawing out for them. She said, well, why don't you try? I know you're a good artist. Try, if you fuck up, they'll fix it. So I did my first tattoo after just hanging out at the shop for a month, and I've been doing it ever since. I dropped out of college with 1 semester left, so I did 3.5 years. I never finished because I stopped everything to tattoo. I was the captain of the soccer team senior year. I have 4 more credits to go, but I stopped everything to tattoo.
5 years later, Forever Custom Tattoos became the most requested artist. Now, Velazquez felt that competing on Ink Master would prove her father's doubts about her career path wrong. Considering all the experience and confidence she had, you would think that she would be an expert. Well, think again. We simply can't put a finger on why she infuriated viewers. She frequently stirred things up on the show and was a pretty mediocre artist. In fact, Velazquez wasn't qualified to be an Ink Master. She was incredibly incompetent. It baffles us that someone with so much experience could produce so many awful tattoos. Somehow, many other artists were eliminated before her, even though she was far worse than them. Another annoying aspect of her character was how well she smack-talked and how weak her arguments were. Don't believe us? Check this out.
Hey, yo, loudmouth, this station doesn't look big enough for that ego of yours.
You're getting ready to be baptized by fire today.
During Ink Master Redemption, Jonathan, the human canvas, had to face Velazquez, who ruined his confidence with an awful tattoo. Take a look at how this interaction went.
You said to me that I was going to get one of the best tattoos.
You looked at it when the tattoo was done in the mirror and everything was fine. You went home and decided you didn't like the tattoo?
What you did from the stencil to my chest, it's terrible.
Did you have a problem with you saw it in the mirror? Just answer me that and maybe I'll stop cutting you off.
I was okay with the tattoo.
Thanks to Clean Rock 1, the situation was finally handled. But all in all, Velazquez wasn't a terrible person. She did redeem herself with Jonathan in the end. Take a look at what she tattooed on Jonathan's arm. But did her redemption change what the audience thought of her? Well, let's take a look at some of the Reddit users' comments. Christic TV said, I think the problem with Ashley was that she put so many bad tattoos on people and other contestants kept being eliminated in her place when she should have been the one to go. When she finally left, I was glad to see her go. Another Reddit user, JMonster65 said, the only thing I don't quite get is why you can't vocalize your reasons not to like Ashley Velazquez. To me, it's pretty easy. She didn't have the talent to back up her whiny, arrogant attitude. To me, the only question is who is the worst in that regard for that season. Alright, moving on to the next contestant, Lil D.
My name's Lil D. I'm from Atlanta. I've been tattooing since 1993. What makes me a great artist is I'm well versed in almost all of the styles. Since I've been doing street shop tattooing, you never know who's gonna come in the door, so you gotta be able to do anything.
Lil D was a contestant from Atlanta, Georgia, who debuted in the 10th season of Ink Master. With 24 years of experience, D is known to be an opinionated southern punk rocker who isn't afraid to share his feelings. Tattooing during a time when there was no social media, he believes that he worked harder to make a name for himself than some of the younger artists had to. Lil D refers to himself as a true hustler and an evil genius regarding traditional tattoos. He's willing to do anything to take the title home, even if it requires casting a spell on his competitors. Many people can't see why he was on the show for such a long time. Maybe since he was tattooing since 1993, the judges assumed he would be good. In truth, they probably didn't have the guts to call him out. They most likely feared that they would get backlash from the community. Well, all you have to do is just take a look at some of his work on the show, and you'll know exactly what we're referring to. Here's what some of the comments on Reddit look like. Reddit user KexLoose said, "Haha, this leg and this hand, it's somehow a fun tattoo. I think that's the reason why DJ chose him over Rachel." Another Reddit user that goes by the name DogLover75 said, "Far and away the worst artist of this bunch. How he's even lasted as long as he has, I simply think it's because the judges just like him." In the elimination rounds, Lil D wanted to impress the judges. And this is what he thought about the canvas.
Here's the worst sitting canvas of all time.
She's flopping around like a fish, bro. He's trying to pull it out. He's struggled trying to put it together.
It's looking like I'm gonna have to do some basic gray shading on the right side instead of doing the full color that I want to do. I'm running out of time. This canvas is sitting bad. We're close. We're close. I just want to turn in a tattoo that's finished.
When it was time for the judges to decide Lil D's fate, this is what happens.
This was a rodeo ride from the start. As far as hitting styles, it's more weird how half the face is shaded one way and the other half is shaded the other way. I don't think it really stands out. Unfortunately, we got to judge the tattoo. You missed it on the challenge. Rough day for you, man.
Watch this to find out who got eliminated in the end.
Lil D's drawing is challenged at the onset. My vote to go home is Lil D.
My vote's for Matt.
One vote for Matt, one vote for Lil D.
I'm so torn, and it kills me. Gotta go with Matt.
The judges have decided, Matt, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Lil D was always at the bottom of the rankings, and we have no idea how he managed to wiggle himself out each time. When the contestants had 6 hours to create the pixelated tattoo, this is what Lil D thought about the challenge.
After 24 years, I'm not as good as somebody that might have been tattooed for 5, but I didn't have the same advantages as they did. And tattooing wasn't always about being artistic. It was about street credit.
The white ones, you can keep a little closer, like that one white. Yeah.
I try to stay humble. I'm gonna keep learning until I'm done tattooing, which I hope isn't for another 20 years.
When it was time for him to face the music, this is what they had to say about his tattoo.
Lil D.
It is very legible. The biggest thing about this for me is color saturation. All the red squares are not solid.
The areas of outline that you have that butt up to the headdress, you can see all the wavering lines. This one's super challenged.
Surprise, surprise, Lil D was in the bottom 3. But then check out what happened.
Judges, it is time to determine who is going home.
I gotta go with Katie.
The judges have decided, Katie, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
He survived elimination yet again. Thanks to him, some really good artists were shown the door way before their time, and that's why he made it onto our list of the most hated artists. Well, let's move on to the next contestant, Christian Buckingham.
I've got 4 kids and 5 grandkids. I got a whole football team, man. I think it's gonna be amazing for them to be able to experience this with me.
Christian Buckingham is a traveling artist who currently resides in Richmond, Virginia. He has 14 years of tattoo experience and appeared in the 7th and 9th season of the show. Take a look at Buckingham's specialization and strategy.
I started my strategy before I even got here. I tend to specialize in black and gray realism. So I actually took all the color pieces out of my social media so that the guys would think I was all just one-trick pony. I think I might be abrasive to some people because I'm very honest.
Buckingham comes from a conservative family of Air Force officers and always felt like the black sheep before discovering tattooing. Coming off the heels of an intense competition in Season 9, Buckingham's shot made it to the final 3. Still, he was eliminated in the finale, unable to face off in the Master Canvas Challenge. Coming back after his shocking elimination, he was determined to lead his team to victory this time around. Buckingham was ready to take home the title with support from his wife, children, and grandchildren. During the redemption episode, Zach, a previous human canvas, got a tattoo from Buckingham in season 7. And this is what he wanted.
I want to get a surreal Athena surrounded by her domains of power.
And those are?
Chariot, owl.
In the end, a panel of human canvases discussed his tattoo and claimed that it was the worst tattoo of the night.
My biggest regret is the chariot with the horses. Like, I wanted it to be more of a central part of it.
I didn't even notice the horse.
There you go. Everything other than the face is horrible. If you talk such a big game about your artwork, nail it.
What didn't he nail specifically?
You cannot tell it is a chariot. It's also attached to horses, and you absolutely cannot tell that there are 2 horses because the horses look so messed up.
When Zach did finally meet Buckingham, this is what happened.
Christian, this tattoo you gave me is bull. When I tell you I want Athena, it's supposed to look like Athena, not some chick with red lipstick on my thigh.
Oh my goodness.
I asked you to do a chariot and an owl.
First off, tone down how you're talking to me. Do you
I'm
think
going to get what I would like out.
You're not gonna get unless you talk to me like an adult.
There's no denying that he's a fantastic artist and has many amazing tattoos, like season 7's Hillary Clinton portrait. This is what the judges thought about the tattoo.
As far as capturing a likeness, you really get the personality and the look of this person. You cut down on the number of wrinkles, but kept the direction and the flow of the wrinkles just right. Smart choices on how to interpret what's in the real photo.
The actual way that you do the hair coming over that right ear, perfect. It's beautiful because her hair is really white and light over that ear. You nail it. This was a great attention to detail.
Another win for Buckingham was 2 master canvas tattoos in season 7.
Well, you know, he's a super patriotic guy, so we wanted to convey that, and, you know, just really wanted to put a lot of strength into it, and that's where the eagle came in, not to mention a little bit of redemption there. And the gypsy was kind of just to show, you know, to look to the future and never back. And we really wanted something that was super strong and powerful, and I'm super proud of this thing.
Check out the Adam tattoo in season 9.
Let's take a look at this. Holly, what do you think?
Well, Christian, it's definitely apparent that black and gray is still your strong point. A lot of really, really smooth, soft transitions, a lot of nice gray shading. It has a lot of contrast. You can definitely see the figure in there.
But what makes him so hated is that he couldn't even take feedback from the eliminated artist jury. Well, we do also find him a bit bitter, controlling, and mean. Let's take a look at some of the comments from Reddit users. User Caroline Mathilde says, Christian could dish it out, but he couldn't take it. He shat all over Jesse and made fun of him constantly, and then Jesse called him out for his art once, and Christian got all sad and offended. Here are some clips where Buckingham was being really mean.
Christian, is there anything you want me to work on?
Jesse helping us is the equivalent of having a 3-year-old help when you're making dinner. He can go off and do some little thing. Me and James will take care of the real work.
Minimal, minimal, minimal. Any more colors than this and we're in trouble. Use this and one plate. Jesse, you this up, don't you?
Buckingham might be a great artist, but we can't accept his attitude and sour behavior with his peers. Well, let's move on to the next contestant, Jason Clay Dunn.
My name is Jason Clay Dunn, and I've been tattooing approximately 20 years. I started developing more of a Japanese, Asian sort of influence style. You know, I just kind of throw my white boy twist on it, you know? These artists don't have my experience.
Jason Clay Dunn is a tattoo artist from Montclair, California. He's an owner/artist at the Tattoo Academy and has 20 years of experience in the tattoo industry. Born with an innate passion for creation, Dunn completed a traditional apprenticeship by 19 and set out to become a leading artist in Neo-Asian style. Dunn competed in season 3, tattooing through his personal battles with a panic disorder and anxiety. Unfortunately though, the shop owner fell short and ended up in 6th place. He was, however, back in action against Josh Hibbard, season 3's infamous instigator. Hibbard's scheming tactics and penchant for drama didn't sit well with Dunn, and their feud soon picked right back up. There was nothing stopping Hibbard from clashing with Dunn's no-nonsense personality. This attribute of his shone through when he was confronted with the Master Canvas Challenge.
Your master canvases are completely open. However, the style of your back piece is up to your rivals. Clean and Eric, choose the style for Jason.
New school.
The Master Canvas wasn't happy at all, and this is the reason behind it.
What was it that you specifically didn't like?
I can't find myself in it. It kind of misrepresents my style.
But you actually sat through a full session.
I did. I got the entire outline done, but once I lived with it for a few days, it wasn't anything that I could relate to. It took some of my sexiness away.
When she finally confronted Dunn about the tattoo, this is what happened.
Hey!
Hey, what? No, I got nothing for you. I got no love for you. You tell me what you're doing here?
You're supposed to tattoo me.
I'm not tattooing you. I have zero respect for you.
I think that's quite rude.
Well, I can tell you what's quite rude. Trying to screw me out of a $100,000 tattoo.
She couldn't take the insults that Dunn was throwing her way, and so she left. Reddit user Bumble Boogaloo said, "I agree. This moment revealed his true character. I saw his redemption before finishing his season and couldn't stand him after that. You could really see his personality coming through in this clip."
Stop being a dumbass. I want to beat out my rival in a fair fight. I'll be damned if I'm going to battle with somebody who's not playing by the rules. You're a liar. You're a cheat. Be a man and own your right here and now. At least you can do that.
Dude, you're out of your mind.
In the episode where the artist had to tattoo landmarks on canvases, this is what Dunn did to Hibbert.
Do you think that you were given this canvas by Jason intentionally?
I mean, the whole group's kind of sat down and said, oh yeah, it's now a game of giving Josh whatever we don't understand. So I've kind of slipped into that role of being the bad guy.
The difference here, bro, is I want a healthy competition. I'm just trying to stir the pot. You, on the other hand, do out of malicious intent.
When it was Dunn's turn to come up to the judges, this is what they had to say about his piece.
Jason.
I feel like you got a little bit smoother here than we've seen you in the past. But the big thing bugs me about this tattoo is there's a couple areas on the photo where it goes to solid black. Like the back of her hair, underneath her hand on the tablet, the arm that's outreached with the torch. If you would have copied those solid black areas, it would have helped give this thing the dimension it was looking for.
I didn't want it to end up too solid and too light.
Using all the different tones of gray and not committing to the black in this particular tattoo actually hurt you.
During the DC comic book challenge, Hibbert purposely picked a tricky topic for Dunn to do. When it was time for the judges to see the pieces, this is what they had to say.
This is probably the cleanest tattoo we've seen from you. There's a lot of great consistencies in this tattoo that we've seen lacking in your other tattoos.
I'm starting to feel the flow here and feel a little bit more comfortable getting rid of some of my anxieties when I'm tattooing.
I'm the opposite of Ollie. Your saturation, color-wise, does not stack up. These transitions from the blacks to the blues and the very washed-out orange do not do it for me.
When it was Hibbert's turn, this is what the judges thought about it.
Seems like you've embodied your character in this competition. It's good for the supervillain to come out and pound one back at the heroes. Whether they like you or not, they gotta suck it up and beat it. It's a really nice job.
Overall, this being DC Comic Challenge, I think you really captured the essence of this character. This smooth shading, all that black and all that deep shadowing that gives the shape of the wrinkles in his forehead.
After the portrait challenge, Dunn felt extra feisty and stirred up a lot of drama. Check this out to find out what happened.
I didn't care for the neck on it. Dude, the way you did that shading underneath there, and I hate to disrespect somebody's mother, but it looked like she was crowning, dude, like coming out of somebody's...
Tons of things are wrong with that.
I mean, I have a whole lot of stuff I could say about all your guys' stuff too, but that's just not.
That's not you, is it?
No, it's not.
Right on, I know. You're just the persecuted one in this house. For absolutely no reason. 15 people come together to persecute Josh.
Well, it looks like his strategy worked because he won Season 5 of Ink Master. This is what he created for the season finale. Take a look at what Reddit user Dongus Maximus had to say. His comment read, "He's an a-hole who never should have won. It was only by default that he did." At the same time, he isn't completely wrong about the girl. Her stupid, oblivious attitude ran up to him like they were old friends. Redemption is an opportunity for the artist and canvas to get a second chance at a tattoo they deserved. She didn't deserve anything. Well, with that, we've sadly come to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Which one of these contestants did you hate the most? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give us a like and a share. Also, hit the subscribe button to never miss out on our updates. Thanks for watching, guys.